G'day and good morning everyone, Slabberboos here, and today we're going to be talking about Warlords of Draenor and how it turned out to be a complete and utter clusterfuck. Now, I'm going to be doing a series of videos with the Iron Man challenge in the background. Hopefully I'll be able to go far, but well, I suck at this game, and from other YouTubers, they got to a certain point and then they crashed and burned. But we'll see how I go. As I said, I suck at this game, so we'll see. Anywho, back to the video at hand. Parts of Warlords of Draenor were so terribly thought out and so excruciatingly bad, I thought I might as well do a video about it. Now, don't despair, in the not too distant future I am going to be doing a video about what was good about Warlords of Draenor, and tell you now, there was a lot. But first we have to get to the giant elephant in the living room.
The elephant in the living room that nobody mentions, you know? I mean, yeah, there it is sitting on the fucking couch, nobody says a word.
Now, the very first problem we ran into with Warlords of Draenor was the launch. My god, it took me 3 fucking hours to get in. It was almost as if everyone wanted to play as soon as it went live. Now, I realized there was a lot of people returning and wanting to play as soon as the expansion went live, but my god, Blizzard should have been aware of this. There would have been internal metrics that would have shown them how many subs they had at that particular time, and should have been able to work around it when the expansion went live. Did that happen? No. I mean, just take a look at Silithus. When Arcarage opened up, everyone in one little zone. What happened? Servers crashed. What happened there? Everyone got angry. People tried to log back in. They couldn't. They couldn't. The lag was just terrible. And then they try and bring out an expansion when they're bringing back more people, 10 million people at the start of this expansion, when there was only, what, 6 million people when Silithus opened with Arcarage? My god, they should have fixed this by then. And why the hell and who the hell thought it was a good idea to have everyone at the exact same spot when the launch happened? Who? My god, like Blizzard, I love you and all, but that was a stupid fucking move. Damn! Now Blizzard were expecting a great launch at the start, and it didn't turn out that way. And it wasn't helped by the DDoS attack either. And because of the DDoS attack, the servers were put less than full capacity to try and at least keep people playing, which was a brilliant move by Blizzard. I do appreciate that, and so did everyone else. But the fact that everyone is starting in the one zone, that should not have happened. It shouldn't have. Gameplay wasn't normalized until after the first week, and when you have that kind of start to an expansion, you're going to have people kind of riled up.
I could set the building on fire.
Now, let's get into the crux of this expansion. Time travel to an alternate dimension. Time travel to an alternate dimension. Yes, that's exactly what it was about. It was Garrosh and Kairos going back in time, so Kairos could create an infinite number of armies from an infinite number of worlds to take on the Legion with Garrosh. But Garrosh was there to create the horde that he always wanted and envisioned to take over Azeroth. So we're going back in time to an alternate dimension, so Kairos can achieve something, but Garrosh wants to achieve a different thing, which is exactly the same thing, which will help out and take on the Legion later on, by going back in time to an alternate dimension. So it's not going back in time, it's going to another dimension that is exactly the same time as us, but only 30 years in the past, to create an army. But the Iron Horde, with taking over Draenor, so... What?
Stewie, what the hell is going on?
LFR. And that's all I really need to say. Look, LFR was not fun. It wasn't. It was just a tool to go through the motions. It was originally conceived as a tourist mode. Yeah, that's cool and everything, but it took away any semblance of difficulty. It did. I mean, there was no teamwork needed whatsoever until you really got to Archimonde, and that was it. LFR made people lazy. Completely lazy. I mean, think about it. How many people went AFK during the fights and no one cared? How many people got kicked? Unless they were dead and didn't res? No one. Absolutely no one. Whereas at least in SOO, like, just take a look at Nazgrim. If you were being bad, you get kicked. Nowadays, no one cares. They don't. I mean, all LFR is good for nowadays is stones, runes, and tome grinding. And for those who are wanting to raid the serious raids, They have to do that, and it's the best way for them. It really is. LFR has gone from being tourist mode to, oh dear god, I need to grind mode. And I'm sure most people here know what LFR really means. Looking for, well, you know what I mean. Now here, you have people grinding stones who don't care about the actual LFR itself. I mean, how many times have you been in a raid and you check the meters and you see that half the raid is doing 80% of the damage? Not because people are under-geared, but because people are just hitting one button and AFKing at the keyboard. We've all been there, you've been there, I've been in there. LFR is just freaking frustrating. No two bits about it. Now I remember a video from Bellular Gaming near the end of MOP where he said that he felt he deserved the cape rather than earning it. And that was because of the huge freaking grind. And in WoD, it's exactly the same thing. Collect 3 different types of things, kill Kairos for some unknown freaking reason, capture Garona, find out that someone, I'm not going to spoil it, is really working against you, and then you get the ring. Sure, there's a couple of shipyard things and a couple of little other things like doing a couple of heroic things to get you playing the game, but it was not interesting at all. It was a trudge, it was not interesting gameplay, and it was a freaking grind. It was just copied and pasted template from the cloak to the ring. And when that happens, it is not fun gameplay. It is just the same thing, different expansion. Sorry, Blizzard, had to say it.
Ah! Ah! Ah!
Apex's crystals. What is there to say? Apex's crystals are the resource that nobody wanted. All they were good for is empowered tokens and also getting a really, really awesome mount. I'm not even going to describe what it was like at the start of the expansion because they were obsolete. They were completely obsolete, so no one wanted to grind them at the start because the only thing you got from them was less than awesome gear and maybe a mount that went along with 50,000 gold you'd had to partake in. Now, when Tanan Jungle came along and brought out 8 new bonus zones, yeah, someone really had their ear to the ground on that, Blizzard. Well done. The only good thing about grinding Apex's crystals was the empowered thing and the mount, which I actually did too, because I'm an idiot. But if you're into that stuff, why not? But as a whole, Apex's crystals were just stupid. I'm sorry, Blizzard, but I'm not sorry. It was stupid. Everyone hated it before Tanan Jungle, and everyone hated it after. That is not a smart thing. When people are hating it, and then you still go and say, yeah, this is a nice idea, you really don't have your ear to the ground. You don't have your ear to the ground. You don't have your ear to the ground.
What the hell is wrong with you people?
Professions. What is there to say about professions? Except Warlords of Draenor killed them. Okay, you can have skinning and leatherworking as your primary professions at the start, but you can also have a jewel crafting store or an alchemy store or any other store that you want that you currently don't have as a profession. That's cool. But that kind of kills the professions. As I previously said at the start, I mean, just take a look at herbalism and mining. You know, you didn't need to have either of those professions to collect either. And 6.2 came around and basically said, okay, we're going to make those professions relevant again. Thanks, Blizzard. I gave up my mining to be able to do jewel crafting and engineering, but now I've got to get mining again. Thank you! Well, you technically don't have to have it, but it helps if you want full blood. All this for backwards and throwing, and it just made it too messy. I mean, I could rant on for hours upon how bad the professions are, but I'm just going to leave it there.
Well, the Rock doesn't matter how it makes you feel.
Now, 6.2 was the biggest patch that Blizzard has ever released for World of Warcraft. Considering it's the only patch that is being released for this expansion, I should hope so. 6.1 was the selfie patch, and it was only a selfie patch because a couple of devs put in their own free time. What the hell was the use of calling it 6.1? It should have just been called 6.05. Even, I think it was Ian Hodakostas said that at the big Q&A with Wowhead earlier this year. Well, last year. And as for 6.2, it released Tanan Jungle. Now, Tanan Jungle was supposed to be ready for launch, and it wasn't. So factor this in. Suppose Tanan was released when Warlords of Draenor went live. What was really put into 6.2? HFC, the shipyard, which is basically another garrison mission table just outside the walls of the garrison, so you get to run down there as a chore. So 6.2 was just releasing one new raid and flying, which was not even supposed to be in the game originally. Blizzard basically said, we are going to have mounts for you guys, flying mounts in WoD, but there won't be any flying. Blizzard logic. Content in a patch that is the most ever given. Right. We're mainly just pushed back from launch. That's what it was. That's what 6.2 was. It's just basically everything pushed back and something being put in because the fan base yelled and screamed that they wanted it. It was not the biggest patch on those terms that Blizzard has ever released. Give me a break, Blizzard, and don't insult your customer base, because that's exactly what you did, and that is exactly why people don't trust you right now.
Brilliant! I have absolutely no idea what's going on.
Alright, now, near the end of this expansion, the storyline is making little to no sense. I mean, here we are, fighting Grommash at the start, and yet now we're screaming with him for Draenor against Archimonde, after he tried to take over Draenor. He is the enemy, but now we are starting to fight with him. Really, Blizzard? Really? The lore is awesome in Warcraft, it really is, but Draenor, if you call it anything but a filler expansion, there is something very, very wrong. But Draenor is not apparently a filler expansion, and telling us that it is not is just you trying to piss on my leg and tell me it's raining. I'm sorry, but that's just the truth.
Pee on my leg and tell me it's raining.
I think we can all agree that Draenor has just lost a lot of people's trust in Blizzard, but I believe even after everything, Legion does have the potential to turn things around, but they need to listen to what the people want. And not just give them the free loot, like garrison missions and LFR. No, give them a challenge. Let people know what the goal of the expansion is. In Wrath of the Lich King, we knew the end boss was going to be the Lich King. In Draenor, I'm fairly sure no one had a clue as to what the hell was going on or the goal of the expansion. Even to this day, I still have no freaking clue. And, you know, all I know is we got to go to Draenor, break the portal to our world so they stop coming through. Alright, we did that within the first 20 minutes. And that's it. Oh wait, no, now we got to go stop the Iron Horde. Why? There's reasons. Yep, well done, Blizzard. I still have no idea why Garrosh was all over the place, or why Grommash was all over the place. Gotta love them hell screams. And I can think the biggest thing they could have done for this expansion is definitely back up their content. Even if the lore made no sense, at least back up stuff, you know? Patches that mean something. Not just filler patches like 6.1, which was really a patch. But please, I mean, it just seemed like Warlords of Draenor was trying to use the nostalgia of BC and Outland to get people back. Now, instead of the expansion, it really worked. It really did. It was awesome. The leveling was brilliant. But then it became old hat because they did not back up their content. And with the pendulum decision-making process, promising stuff like Farallon and the Ogre area, and then putting it in, and then saying no flying, and then putting it in, it was a real shame. I mean, hell. I mean, no Netherstorm. That was a huge disappointment and a huge opportunity missed. If they would have put just in Farallon, you know, one little patch with Farallon, it would have been awesome. I mean, they had a data mine, for God's sakes. It was just basically all set up, but there was no content put in. They could have just easily done it. They could have. Ah, well, and they could have put X amount of more quests into the, even if it was just daily, and a little bit of reputation grind that would have kept a few people happy, and me included. Alright, that's me done. You know, thank you very much for listening if you've gotten this far. So, yeah, just like if you liked it, dislike if you thought I was an absolute twat. I'm Australian, not British, I don't know why I said that. And don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more crap like this in the future. Thanks, guys.